podcast. Your host, Dr. Kelly Ray, is a renowned mindset coach and counselor, often referred to as the inner critic tamer. With a passion for guiding individuals through life's challenges, she specializes in personal growth and emotional healing. In each episode, Dr. Kelly Ray shares invaluable insights, practical strategies, and relatable stories designed to inspire you to take that first step toward positive change. So, grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready to dive deep into meaningful conversations that empower you on your journey. Let's welcome Dr. Kelly Ray.
Hey there. Welcome back to the Beginning of the Week podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kelly Ray, and I am so glad you're here. Whether you're out walking or driving, maybe grabbing that second cup of coffee, or even hiding in your bathroom for 5 minutes just so you can get some peace and quiet, you chose to press play, and that matters. Let's take a breath together. All right, let's settle in. We've been talking about a lot of things here, and last week's episode entitled When Justice Isn't the Same as Safety, that sparked some really thoughtful responses I've heard from a lot of you, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for the feedback. You know, whether you know it or not, it does serve of great value of how can I serve in a way that's helpful. And when something resonates and you take the time to tell me, that's a connection, and I don't take that lightly. And I've been sitting with something since that episode aired. Because interestingly enough, this past week, both Lent and Ramadan began. Different faith traditions, different practices, different histories. And yet both entering a season of intentional inward reflection. Fasting, praying, simplifying, becoming more aware, giving something up, abstaining from something that once felt automatic. There is a restraint involved, a conscious pause, a willingness to loosen attachment. And I couldn't help but notice the timing, because the world feels loud right now, reactive, opinionated, urgent. And yet, across cultures, people are voluntarily choosing less. Less consumption, less indulgence, less automatic behavior. More awareness. And it made me ask, what if safety isn't something we achieve externally, but something we practice internally? What if part of feeling safer isn't just adding calming practices, but abstaining from what keeps us inflamed? Because being right doesn't automatically make your nervous system feel safe. Winning an argument doesn't calm your body. Getting your way doesn't regulate your breath. Safety is deeper than that. And here's something I've noticed. The ones everyone relies on, the capable, responsible individuals, they often confuse control with safety. If I stay safe ahead of it, if I anticipate every outcome, if I manage the moving parts, if I hold it all together, if I don't need too much, if I don't feel too much, then I'll be okay. And on the outside, it looks impressive, right? Polished, reliable, strong. But what doesn't get talked about enough is how that same pattern shows up in our relationships. Staying measured, staying composed, staying slightly guarded. Not because you don't care, but because somewhere along the way your nervous system learned it's safer to brace than to fully open. And that bracing can look like independence. It can look like maturity. It can even look like strength. But underneath it, there's vigilance. The 2 a.m. brain. The body that never fully powers down. The low-level hum of alertness. That's not ambition. That's a nervous system that learned it was safer to stay alert than to soften. Let me share something personal with you. December brought me to my knees. Not because something fell apart, but because something softened. I reconnected with someone from my past. And in that reconnection, there was honesty. He opened up about how deeply sorry he was for the ways he had hurt me. And I was able to do the same. And for the first time, I was able to open up fully, without armor, without proving, without bracing. Yes, there were tears, a lot of tears, not dramatic, healing ones. And what I realized afterwards, reflecting back, is that my nervous system had been calibrated around protection, around what I thought I needed to do to stay safe, stay steady, stay strong, stay unshakable. But safety in relationship isn't built through vigilance. It's built through vulnerability. And if I ever want a truly healthy relationship in the future, I can't keep operating from old protection patterns. I have to recalibrate. That realization wasn't loud. It was humbling. My nervous system didn't need more control. It needed safety. And that's where this deeper work comes from. Not from strategy, from surrender. Which is why we're going to talk about why going inward feels unsafe. When we stop doing, we start feeling. When we stop controlling, we start noticing. When we start performing strength, we feel the weight of it. And for the person who's used to being the steady one, the strong one, the one everyone relies on, that can feel destabilizing. I've worked with women for many years now. The woman who never drops the ball. The woman who anticipates needs before they're spoken. The woman who says, "I've got it," before anyone asks. the woman that says yes before even considering herself. She's admired. She's respected. She's relied upon. But when I gently ask them, when do you feel safe enough to stop? There's usually a long pause. Because stopping doesn't feel safe. It feels irresponsible. And that right there, that's conditioning. And to be clear, this isn't just a woman's issue. It's a human one. Productivity becomes identity. Competence becomes armor. If I'm not improving something, fixing something, holding something, who am I? Stillness removes distraction. And when distraction leaves, sensation rises. Which seems like the absolute perfect time for us to talk about practical nervous system shifts, right? This is needed more than ever right now. I mean, there's so many people that don't even realize that they're dysregulated. You know, they just power through. This is the way it's always been, or the world's just kind of weird like right now, so we got to do this in order to get through that. I think, at least for myself, it's always helpful when other people share tools or things that they're using or experiences they've had. I mean, we learn from each other, right? We're not all just creating the wheel for the first time. We might be improving the way the wheel works, because that's what's great. When something first gets created, then we can build upon that. We can fine-tune it, because that's through experience, right? So I think it's super important to take advantage of tools and tips and strategies, or whatever you want to call them, that you hear along the way, and give them a try. See if they work for you, and if they don't, it's not an opportunity to beat yourself up or an opportunity to say how something was stupid and dumb, it didn't work. Move forward, right? Those disempowering words and thoughts keep us in that dysregulated state, keeps us stuck. And my goal is to help you to continue moving forward in a softer, regulated way that allows not only your outside to be brilliant and shining, but for your inside, more importantly, to align with that, right? There's something about seeing a confidence or a natural beauty in someone, and that comes from their inside outward, not just their physical outside structures. So that's how I feel the work that we do together and the things that we share is geared towards helping that inside shine so that it radiates out of you. So here's some practical nervous system shifts that we can take. Not journaling, not breath work, not exercise. Those are beautiful, and I share them on here all of the time. But today, I want to offer subtle practices that teach your body it's safe to soften. The first one is strategic incompletion. This means that your goal would be, or your challenge would be, or consideration would be, leave one non-urgent thing undone. One email unopened. One dish not washed. One small task not taken care of. Maybe it's not picking up your shoes and putting them away. And go to bed anyway. I can tell you, when I first practiced this, it felt rebellious, and I could physically feel tension rise in my body as I walk past something unfinished. That tension wasn't about the task. It was about identity. Maybe it was a way that you were taught when you grew up. Now, I want you also to consider this too. Just because you do this is part of what we're doing to help regulate and change some of the identities and nervous system things that we've been doing perhaps our whole life. This doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to be some lazy sloven person who just leaves stuff laying all over the place. That's not what this means. And it's not a free pass to do that, because there's some, mental dysregulation that goes around when we're also living in chaos and our own mess. So that's not what I'm advocating here for. But more of kind of flipping the switch a little bit. Kind of getting into realizing, oh, this is something I've done my whole life. And what would happen if I didn't do it? Maybe you got in trouble growing up. Maybe you got grounded. Maybe you got something taken away. Maybe you weren't allowed to go do something. So that became a condition, a practice condition that you've done your whole life without even looking at it, but continue to operate from it. And my point of all of this is maybe you're in a position where that's not something that you have to operate from anymore. And maybe that's a safety condition to reevaluate if it's actually serving you in a very healthy, helpful way. The thing is when you do this, you'll learn that it may have been an identity. More than likely it was an identity of who you became because of doing X, Y, and Z. But when you stop doing one of those things, even just for a week, you'll realize that the world doesn't fall apart. Your whole entire world doesn't crash down because of it. Mine didn't. And I also noticed something inside me softened, right? Because I wasn't tensing for, if I don't do that thing, this is going to happen. This is teaching your nervous system. The world does not collapse when I stop. Number 2, sensory downshifting. Safety is physical. Right? We talk about this a lot, about it being part of your primordial DNA. It's just what your body is designed to do. So for this exercise, it would be maybe dim a light earlier than usual. Maybe it's sit on the floor. Maybe it's wrap up in a blanket. Maybe it's step outside barefoot for a moment. No mental gymnastics, just sensation. Your body learns safety through experience. Number 3, scheduled non-optimization. Take 15 minutes where you're not allowed to improve anything. No self-help, no productivity stacking, no optimizing, just existing. That feels uncomfortable. Notice that. That discomfort is information. A lot of times our triggers are the sensations in your physical body. We override it, we minimize it, we justify it rather than taking it as, oh, this is valuable information that I should probably pause and look at that. Number 4, micro silence between roles. Take 3 minutes in your car before you walk inside, whether it be work, the grocery store, the gym, school, wherever. No scrolling, no music, no rehearsal. Just pause. You're not a machine. You're a human shifting roles. Number 5, nothing is wrong right now. When your body activates without a real threat, say quietly, nothing is wrong right now. You can even put your hand on your heart and your stomach if you want. This separates sensation from story. Activation, the story, does not always equal danger, does not always equal what's in the present moment. Notice how your body responds. It's important to sit in the seat of the observer rather than the seat of the judge, right? We're just observing, we're gathering knowledge. This helps us to be able to regulate it so that we're not operating from past stories that created those sensations. We're having to recalibrate those things. Number 6, ritual closure. There's a reason ritual feels grounding. Structure builds safety. Consider for the next 30 days the same tea that you drink every day or night, the same phrase, the same stretch, the same song. Consistency tells your nervous system we are cared for. We can power down. It's safe. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been watching something unfold. Women saying yes to a 30-day reset container that I'm doing without even knowing all of the details. And that tells me something. They're not looking for more information. They're looking for safety. They're looking for a space where they don't have to be the strong one for a while. This Soft30 Reset begins March 1st. And this particular container is specifically for women, because sometimes women need a space where they don't have to carry, manage, or hold everything together. It's not about productivity. It's not about practicing safety. It's practicing softness. Practicing nervous system recalibration in real time. Here's the thing, you don't earn rest by burning out first. You practice rest so you don't have to. If you're listening and something in you is exhaling, I'm going to encourage you to reach out to me. No pressure, no performance, just information. You can email me directly at drkellyray@gmail.com. I'll also put that in the show description notes so it's available for you. And we can see if this is an alignment for you to be a part of this 30-day reset. As we begin to wrap up this week's episode, let me leave you with this. If December taught me anything, it's that strength without safety turns into exhaustion. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you earning rest through collapse. I don't want you waiting for something to fall apart before you soften. I want you practicing safety while you're still standing. This season, across different traditions, people are choosing to abstain, to loosen attachment, to consume less, to pause, not because they're weak, but because restraint built awareness, and awareness builds regulation. Maybe your version of that isn't giving up sugar. Maybe it's giving up the constant monitoring, the constant reacting, the constant bracing. Maybe safety begins when you abstain from what keeps you inflamed. Whether you join me with Soft30 Reset or simply take one small practice from today, remember this. Safety isn't something the world hands you. It's something you built within. And sometimes that begins by choosing less. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this podcast. Thank you for passing this along to others who may need this, who haven't heard this. And until next week, please know,
thank you for joining us for another episode of the Getting Through the Week podcast with Dr. Kelly Ray. If you're looking to connect with her or schedule an appointment, here's how you can reach her. Follow her on Instagram at AskDrKellyRay. Check out her Facebook page at Dr. Kelly B. Find her on TikTok at Dr. Kelly. Visit her website at drkellyray.com. Or send her an email at drkellyray@gmail.com. Until next week, Dr. Kelly Ray sends you so much love.